What is good, boys? This is the last Nofap video you ever need to watch because I have gone from someone who was succeeding with Nofap for 8 months time and then someone who ended up slipping up, making some mistakes and struggling with it for a little bit here and there. Nothing crazy, but like once a week or a couple times a month, still at a healthy level, but occasionally still messing up, to someone who was able to find my way back and then be able to do this long term once again. I'm going to share with you the exact strategies that I used from the start and also the ones now to get back on track, being someone who has had a wide range of experiences with Nofap over the last 3 years. So, when I first got on Nofap, this is something I realized recently. I had a huge why, like a why statement as to the reason I wanted to do this. And that was I just gotten broken up with. I was in an all-time low and really only been with like 3 girls in my life. So one of the big things I needed to improve on was my confidence. And when I was on NoFap, I started to feel that confidence grow. I started to be able to take more risks, increase my testosterone. So I had a very strong why as to doing this. And I also declared war on artificial dopamine because it made me feel bad, and delaying gratification, doing all those things made me feel good, and it started to build me up as a person doing disciplined acts. But the thing was, I did this for so long, months and months, half a year plus, and then I just got to this point where I was extremely confident, and for the first time in my life, I started doing kind of crazy things and then going down a bad slope again. It was like I went downhill. So I started doing some bad things. We don't got to go into them, but like partying wise, and it really messed up my dopamine. So then I kind of found my way back to that, and since then I lost my why statement, which was the most important thing. So what I did recently to rediscover that why statement, and I got a little worksheet here that I want to share with you guys, is so this is really going to help you figure out your why for your current position. So if you're someone, NoFap is the easiest if you're in a situation like I was when I was first starting out, where it's like you have low confidence, or you don't, if you struggle to get girls or things like this, and you really need to make a big change in your life. For me now, I do extremely well with girls. I've been in Sweden for the last 4.5 months, and I'm not going to sit here and brag, but I've done extremely well. It's not even a thought. So getting girls is no longer a motivation for being on NoFap, which was one of the reasons why I struggled with it. My testosterone is extremely healthy. It's been for 3 years now. That's not really a reason for doing this. So I had to figure out what was my why. So I'm going to be like very transparent and honest with you guys and tell you some of the things that I have now that allowed me to rediscover this, and you can emulate this for yourself. So the first thing I did was I wrote down, what do we gain from fapping, right? And it was a short-term escape from reality for me, and it's like cheap pleasure because I'm a business owner. It's extremely stressful sometimes, and it can just be one of those things where on certain days I would just like need a minute. Like that's basically all. That's kind of the excuse that I had created for myself. And then I was like, what do we lose when we fap? We lose mental health, confidence, testosterone, sexual health, honor with ourselves, self-respect, energy, desire to seek girls in real life, time, motivation, the ability to get hard. If you do that shit before you drink and you go out, you just fucked yourself. Distortion from reality, the destroying beliefs, the fact that this once saved us and we're now going against something that we once believed in so much, making our future self disappointed, tricking the mind. So many reasons that you lose. So now you have all these things on, well, what do we gain and what do we lose? That's the start. And then the next thing is limiting beliefs that we have, right? So one of the ones I had was like, it feels good to come and release. So then I had to realize that, well, some of the things I put underneath and why it's a false belief. Like, why is this belief not true? So we actually feel worse after. We really don't feel that good during. You just start getting addicted to that dopamine, wanting more and more, and you actually start feeling bad. And then coming does not feel good, creating a dissociation. So this is from a book I'm reading currently. It's that your association and dissociation. So you can dissociate something. You don't have to have that association anymore. You got to realize that coming does not equal feeling good. This is a dissociation, not an association. And then coming is losing. Like if you do that, you're losing, you're not winning anything. And it makes everything worse, right? So that's how I broke that one. My mind needs a break every once in a while. That was one of my false limiting beliefs. And that a dissociation I had to make is that porn and that doesn't give you a break, it's a drug. So it actually makes things worse once again. So that's, you dissociate it from that belief. And it only makes everything more difficult. A break would be something like a walk, a meditation, reading, journaling. That's a break. That's what I've been doing. And it clears your mind. Porn would distort it. So you break that, right? So you dissociate whatever I don't got to go into the last one, but it's just something, it's not that important. It doesn't provide much value for you. But then the next thing is going to be implementation. So I want you to write down 3 things that you can do to implement Nofap from the things that you just had, your limiting beliefs and your why statement. So you're going to use the breath as a neutralizer. This is the thing I did when I actually first started. So I said, every time I feel an urge, I'm going to use my breath to neutralize it. So I just focus on the breath for a minute, right? Allow the mind to be the breath, literally. Just be the breath. Feel it going through your nose, into your throat, into your lungs, and then exhaling. Don't think about anything else. So the next one is going to be affirmations. Just something like this. I'm committing to a lifelong journey of Nofap. Nofap's going to help me improve my mental health, get more girls, have higher motivation and energy, higher testosterone, and be proud of myself. That is my affirmation, like my why statement as to why I'm doing this. I don't necessarily need to affirmate that to myself every day, but you can. That can be something you do. And then beliefs. What are your new beliefs going into this? I don't watch porn or masturbate. No benefits come from jerking off, and I control my sexual energy and thoughts. So that's my sheet. And I want to share a couple things with you. So one of the things I've noticed is that every time I relapsed, even if it was just one of these occasional times, it all started from a thought that got carried away. So that's one of the things that I want to teach you, is like using the breath is going to allow you to kill that thought in its tracks, because you can literally have that thought, let it dwell, and then go hours and then mess up hours later. It can be like next day type of thing. So you need to control the thoughts at all times. It's your mind. You have complete control over it. And if you don't have that belief, that's something you should definitely work on implementing. Is the power that you have over your mind is absolute. You don't need to let your thoughts control you. But this general worksheet of understanding what you gain and what you lose, and you're going to see that you don't really gain much. And the things that you gain aren't really a gain, they're actually a loss anyway. And then you realize how much you gain from doing it. So there's a huge risk versus reward type of, winning and losing scenario that you instantly make clear. The next thing is going to be the limiting beliefs that you have to break, because your limiting beliefs are going to be the thing that holds you back the most. So once you can break those and dissociate them, and now it just comes to implementation on the things you're going to do on a daily basis. Like, I'm going to utilize the breath. I'm going to create new beliefs. I'm going to have an affirmation that makes it a why statement for why I'm actually doing this. That is how you're going to be able to do this at any point in your journey. So if you were getting girls like I am, or you are getting girls, proper English, then, and that's not your biggest motivation anymore, and you're like, well, why am I doing this now? I did it in the start because I wanted to get girls and have confidence, but now I have those. That's what kind of my issue was. Now you have a higher purpose to do this for. What is your higher purpose? And that's going to change over time, and it's going to change the reasons that you're actually doing this in the first place. So that's the real way to succeed with Nofap long term. And this is going to work for you whether you're in the start or whether you're more advanced and slipping up, like, for example, because you're having success with some of the things that your original motivations, like if you accomplish your original motivations and now you're kind of slipping up because you don't have a why anymore, then this is how you redevelop that why statement. And that's been super important. So I know this is a bit of a more advanced video for people who are probably having a bit more success. They're not doing it every single day type of thing, but this is going to help you no matter what. So I hope this provides you with some value. Please like and subscribe if it does, and I'll see you guys in the next video.